Bam! Life Lessons with Juvy. I am your host, JuvyThaKid. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, at JuvyThaKid. See that cool little new graphic there? Yeah. Little Jenny Wren, what are some movie trends you hate or wish would come back in style? Movie trends that I hate? I gotta think. Well, I don't know. I'm not a fan of romantic comedies. Like, I'm not a fan of like those kind of movies. It seems like they're very formulaic. It's, once you've seen one or two, you've basically seen them all. One thing it bugs me when, like, I don't know, a lot of independent movies try to get away with this. But they'll put like the filter or effect on the scene itself to try and give the actors like it'll look like softer skin, but it kind of like gives it like almost like a blurry glow in a way. But it's not a dream scene. It's an unnecessary thing to put on that scene. You know what I mean? Yeah, that bugs the shit out of me. What else? Actually, and I don't know, some people might not agree with this, but whatever. Let's stop with the serial killer clown horror movies, unless you have like a real like original idea. You know what I mean? I just like, okay, so what was it? Clown by Eli Roth, even Stephen King's It. Those have something like attached to it that makes it different. You know what I mean? It's not just some guy who's like, oh, I like painting up as a clown and killing people. Like, I don't know. We've seen it done so many times. Either it's done well or it's done real shit. But like, let's just stop with that stuff. You know what I mean? Especially with like It. Like any clown feature like in a horror movie will, like, if that's your antagonist, that's going to be compared to Pennywise. So just let's stop. Which ones would I wish would come back? Honestly, I would love to see kind of like the late 80s, early 90s action movie feel come back. Like RoboCop or like Terminator 2. You know what I mean? Like, you watch those movies and they feel different compared to the action movies of nowadays. Although I do love the action movies of nowadays, like the John Wick movies, so great. Equalizer, badass movie. I still think John Wick would win though, just saying. Yeah, but I would like to see that come back. Or even just like that type of soundtrack. Like the RoboCop one I love. I love the Terminator soundtrack too, like that. You hear that like the Terminator song for like the theme, I guess you could say, from Judgment Day. And like you recognize it, that like, I don't know, I love that. Just like really like powerful kind of like action movie soundtracks. I feel like a lot of people go for like the cinematic feel and everything a lot of times now, where it's like a whole orchestra that's like doing a lot of stuff. But I feel like, I don't know, when it's certain things coming together in a very powerful way, it makes it so much cooler. And honestly, a lot of the 80s synth tracks, come on, those are dope as hell. Like, those are kind of making a comeback. But I feel like, I don't know, I want those back in like a RoboCop and like action movie type things. That'd be dope. And I don't know, let's stop with the expendable movies and Fast and Furious, because they're basically the same. And like those corny one-liners, gotta stop. Hamilfet, what's your take on Stranger Things? I absolutely love this show. The attention to detail is off the charts. Love the 80s. So this is actually really weird. A lot of people that have ever known me say that I should have been born in the 80s. I was born in 1990. But most of the music that I love comes from the 80s. A lot of the things that, like, the fashion things that I actually like, I wish we could still rock, come from the 80s. Like, I don't know. If I had to pick like a decade to go back to, I would love to be able to go and kick it in the 80s. Like, it would just be awesome. but I'd have to like each month. I feel it would have to be different because like I'd have to go through like a hairband phase at some point because just like all that hairspray, the big come on. I'd have to. But that's not the topic. Stranger Things, I love the show. I really do. I came around to it. First time, I said this recently, but first time I watched it, a lot of pressure from everyone to like it, so I didn't really. When I went back and rewatched the first season, loved it. Season 2, amazing. Dustin, come on. How can you not love Dustin? I love it. What was the other? Steve. I love how Steve's story, like as a character, has just like completely changed. And in season 2, like it's just, I don't know. I was rooting for him. Hopper and Eleven, their relationship, so beautiful. Oh man, got me in the feels a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, he wasn't mad. He's just sorry. You know what I mean? I need a minute. So yeah, I love Stranger Things. Honestly, I even love like the connections to different things. Whereas like season 1, it was Dungeons and Dragons, and the guys, like the boys, kind of like ended up being the characters they were playing in Dungeons and Dragons. With this one, like certain like friendships or whatever start with a game called Dig Dug, where you're digging through these tunnels and you're encountering these creatures and aliens and everything. And, you know, without giving too much away about the show, like that game in a way ends up playing a part in the show, or is at least emulated in a way. So yeah, I love the way the show is written. I love the way I love the execution of it, honestly. It's one of those things. It's like when I watched Hannibal. Now like with season 2, I watched it and I was like, man, I'm gonna I would love to be able to shoot something like this, because I love the monster, the way it's very Lovecraft-ish, like where you get glimpses of of this giant monster, but like it's still hidden in some spots in a way, so like you don't get the full spect of it, you know what I mean? But you know it is fucking huge. I don't know. Season 2, absolutely amazing. I loved it. And on the show in general, I love Stranger Things. So, bam, that's my take on it. This has been Life Lessons with Juvy. I've been your host, JuvyThaKid. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at JuvyThaKid. All my quiet kids, freaks and weirdos, for the love of everybody, keep being weird.